Bum, 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bum, 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 bum. Give him two lips like roses and clover. Bum, bum, bum. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Bum, 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 bum.
My name is Andrew Allen. I'm a junior at the University of Oklahoma, and I'm a public administration major.
My name is Randa. I am 39 and occupation is HR director.
My name is Kathy Rogers. I'm 60 years old and I'm a business owner.
My name is Marjorie Fields. I'm 85 years old and I'm retired.
A general definition of media is maybe a way to get news. And there's different types of media. For example, there's newspapers, television, the internet, which are all ways for different people to get different news articles and stuff.
My definition of media is just a way to get information to the world.
Well, I defined it at your fingertips. Anything you want to find anymore, just go on Google. You got it.
Email, internet, personal, I probably use Facebook the most. Pinterest, I like to pin things.
The media that I most often use is probably the internet. I get a lot of stuff just scrolling through Facebook feeds. A lot of times I go to CNN directly to look at stuff, but usually the internet.
Well, I use television, newspaper, and the internet.
On the average day, I think that I would use a media probably like a good at least 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours maybe.
I spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day on the internet, if not more.
Daily. In my job, I use it a lot, and then I also use it, personal. So every day, every hour.
I spend a lot of time on television and newspaper and quite a bit on the internet too. I don't know, 2 or 3 hours a day probably.
Google. Can't live without it.
Something that comes to mind when I first think of media is definitely a news station, and CNN comes to mind a lot. They're opening a scene with the music and stuff. That's what I usually think of.
I don't put a lot out there. I might post pictures or something like that, but I never put like what I'm doing or what's going on.
Mainly family things, posting pictures of family, commenting on my family and friends. And I do a lot of visiting with my colleagues throughout the nation.
I'm just trying to express myself when I post stuff to Facebook or Tumblr or whatever.
I'm not like Andrew, and I hardly know how to put pictures on there. The only thing I do is my grandkids' pictures and things like that. That's all.
Passive, because I don't comment on anything. So on Facebook, it's just I might like it or something, but I don't comment on it.
I would consider myself a passive media user. An active user might, for example, be someone who was posting about social problems to get people interested in it. Whereas I just do it for myself. I'm just, reblogging things that I find funny or whatever. So, yeah.
I consider myself a very active user. I use it for the business, I use it for personal, I use it for family, I use it for everything.
It can be good, but also it can be bad. I was sitting here last night watching, I can't remember, some kind of a home game, and they started talking so vulgar. And I thought, well, what if there's some little kids watching that, So it can be good. Mostly it's good. Listen, I'm from the old school. We used to write letters, and finally we used to use a telephone. Now we got all kinds of things we can do. It's a miracle. It is a miracle. You can Google almost anything. In fact, I haven't found anything I couldn't Google and come up with an answer.
Overall, I feel pretty positive about it, but there are some times when I think that people are just kind of, using it. I don't know. They could be doing better stuff with their time. I think the world would be different without social media in it. Well, I think the thing is with how humans are, I don't think it could have happened any other way, because social media, it just connects everybody, and that's all humans really want, to be connected. So I think that if there wasn't like the internet or newspapers, there would be something like a flying owl that would deliver letters or something. People want it to be around, so I don't think that the world would be without it.
I think it's good. Yeah, it's positive. I mean, it gets the world connected. So there is bad about it, because it also, even though it gets the world connected, I mean, you hear about things a lot more. So like when I was growing up, you never heard about like kidnappings or murders or anything like that. But now that like Aiden's age, he's 6, so he hears about people being murdered, kidnapped, and things like that. So I think it does affect you that way.
I think the good outweighs the bad, and you just have to be really careful. It keeps me in touch with all my family, friends, and colleagues on a daily basis. It would be really hard for me to keep contact with a lot of my colleagues that's all over the nation. Without it, I wouldn't be able to.
Okay, let's just take for Pinterest, for example. Use Pinterest. I like to pick out uniforms or outfits that I wear, from Pinterest. You can also get ways to cook better, ways to exercise, how to be a better parent. So yeah, I think it affects you a lot. And plus, you get to hear, what's going on in the world a lot faster. So
I don't really think it influences my life. I don't think it does. It doesn't cause me to do anything any different than what I would do.
It's made my life a lot easier. Everything's right at the touch of a mouse. And I don't have to work for it. I don't have to look it up. I don't have to make phone calls. It's just right there at my hand.
Media has an influence on my life, definitely, just because it's a way to get news and stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what's happening across the world. I wouldn't know what's happening, in a different state. It's definitely an integral part of my life.
Mr. Sandman, someone to hold would be so peachy before we're too old. So please turn on your magic beam, Mr.
CDC.gov/act against
That is a good commercial.
Bring us our dreams.
It's a miracle.
Social media, it just connects everybody, and that's all humans really want, to be connected.